All right, folks, grab your popcorn because we have a drama worthy of Hollywood up here. It's Robert De Niro, the man, the myth, the legend, and he's in serious trouble. Not because of a bad movie review or a rotten project. Oh no, this is much bigger. The iconic actor who once roamed the silver screen is now in the middle of a career calamity, and everyone is talking about it. So put your seatbelts on. We're diving into how De Niro's Hollywood empire may be crumbling. Yes, he isn't taking it very well. Let's start from the very beginning. De Niro, the man who brought us classics like Taxi Driver and Goodfellas, is now said to be losing big studio deals right and left because he made some eyebrow-raising political remarks that half the country didn't take too kindly. The comments amounted to tossing a Molotov cocktail into his career. And trust me, when you annoy the studio like that, Hollywood doesn't forgive. Now, we are not here to take sides, but numbers don't lie. Rumor has it that De Niro himself lost $36 million in movie deals. Yes, that's right, $36 million. And now, to give you a picture, that's money that buys private islands, fleets of yachts, and probably even enough pizza to feed a city. And now, poof, gone. Break it down. First of all, Warner Brothers was all set to cast De Niro for two of their upcoming flagship films. The combined worth of this gig was a $20 million check, but then he started poking his nose into politics. Warner Brothers would rather wait for somebody else. Rumor has it they dropped him faster than you can say box office bomb.
I was reticent to do it quickly. They kept coming back, asked me to come, do it, blah, blah, blah. I had things about the script that I felt were, not to go into all of that now, right. But I was not, I was concerned about, and they tried their best to get it closer to something that I said, finally, okay. And I liked the heart, the genuineness of everybody, and it was all people who had.
And if this was a little bad, then buckle up because Universal jumped into the fray. They were within seconds from making two original family-related comedies, and yes, De Niro was meant to be the star. Something similar to Meet the Parents, but fresh and updated for Generation 2. Sounds like a win-win, no? Not anymore. Universal threw that plan away like a bad script and just kicked away another possible $16 million on the cutting floor. So here you have it. $36 million down the drain. And the worst is that it is not because all of a sudden De Niro forgot how to act. Nope. It is all about those all-too-famous comments. Now, let's talk about the reasons studios are shutting it down. Hollywood, at least in theory, prides itself as the land of free speech. But there are no two ways about it. It's a business. In the context of social media firestorms and hashtag activism, studios will be even more mindful of faces for their projects. They're not just selling movies anymore. They also sell brands, values, and vibes.
I owe this city a lot. And that's why it's so weird that Donald Trump is just across the street. Because he doesn't belong in my city. But around the country, people who didn't know him, as we did, started to support him. They bought into his bullshit. Trump bought their votes with outrageous lies and empty promises.
So when De Niro's controversial comments began making headlines, it was not just bad press. It was a public relations nightmare. Imagine trying to market the family comedy of lighthearted fun with a guy who has just alienated half an audience. This is not a recipe for box office magic, right? And so, being the smart players they are, Universal decided it was not worth risking. Ouch. But it gets juicier. Buzz says De Niro isn't taking it lying down. No, he is fighting tooth and nail to save whatever is left of his career. He was begging studio execs while trying to convince Netflix to give him another mob movie. Yes, Netflix. The very same that green-lighted Tiger King and The Kissing Booth is said to be unwilling to take a gamble on De Niro. That's how bad it's gotten. The last one, but not least, is hot-talking rumors with the power higher-ups at Universal. Imagine this. De Niro arguing with the heads of the studio about trying to save those family-friendly parts. Shakespearean, almost. The man who made a career out of playing tough-as-nails characters is now desperately trying to hold on to a genre that, let's face it, was never really his strong suit in the first place.
I'm going to say one thing. Trump. It's no longer down with Trump, it's Trump.
Here is where it gets interesting. As per reports, De Niro intends to give a public statement that would blame, wait for it, the audience. Yes, indeed. He intends to say it was us that caused all this trouble. It wasn't his comments. It wasn't the change in Hollywood. It was us, the moviegoers. Because, as you see, we are the problem here. This word, if it is true, will be a page-turner. Is he going to add insult to injury? Is he going to catcall the studios? Whatever he has to say about the conditions, one thing is for certain. It is going to make headlines. But now, let's zoom out a little bit. This is not just about De Niro. It is also about a changing Hollywood. The industry operated in self-contained bubbles for decades. For public opinion had little or no effect on the movies and their makers. Not anymore, though. In 2023 and onward, audiences would come knocking even harder on such doors. As we realize, social media, streaming channels, and instant feedback are making a tough time for the studios to carry out business as usual. This applies also to the case of De Niro, which is a textbook example of this phenomenon.
Up. He's done everything. What more do you need? It's almost like he wants to do the worst that he could possibly do to show this country to with us. His slogan should be America. I want to America.
So, what happens next for De Niro? He has reached the age of 81 and he is indeed Hollywood royalty. However, he seems to be forced to seek systematic relevance in his life. It's a bit hard to stomach, especially for someone who's been doing this for so long. But maybe, just maybe, it is about time to hang up the gloves. Spend time with family, write a memoir, or even dip his toes into directing. After all, there is no shame in stepping aside when the moment is right. But knowing De Niro, probably not on his radar. He is a fighter, and fighters don't quit. Don't hold your breath if he gets back with a swinging new project or he's bold enough to reinvent himself. Whether the world can handle it, however, is another story. Well, that finally settles it. The Hollywood saga of Robert De Niro enters real-time conflict, as it goes down in a drama beyond that of any movie he has ever starred in. Will he come back? Will the studios change their mind? Or is it the last door closing on an era? Only time will tell. But one thing's assured. A comeback story is loved in Hollywood. And if anyone can do it, it's Robert freaking De Niro.